Bennett. In many ways, the Reagans themselves have been preparing the public for this eventuality going back as far as 10 years ago. That is the time when Ronald Reagan released that poignant and very sad to many letter disclosing that he indeed did have Alzheimer's, and basically said language in that letter to the point that right then and there, 10 years ago, he was prepared to enter what he described as the sunset of his life. What has happened between now and then? For the most part, the public doesn't know. Since that time, Ronald Reagan has been kept out of sight, for the most part electing not to be seen in public. It's been sort of an alternative good news, bad news situation. Sometimes we heard optimistic news coming from this family compound. We were shown some photographs, we all may remember, of Ronald Reagan and Nancy celebrating one of his birthdays. It was simply a photograph, but other times we started to hear bad news, including that which led up to the event today. Brian.
Mark Mullen in the Bel Air section of Los Angeles, thanks. And just in the last few moments, the White House, the Bush White House, has commented on the passing of the former president. For that, we go to my colleague, NBC News White House correspondent David Gregory, traveling with President Bush today in Paris. David, are you with us?
I am, Brian, and I can tell you within the past few moments that a senior White House official has confirmed to NBC News that former President Reagan has died. The president has already been informed. He was informed some time ago, I don't know the exact timing of it, by his chief of staff, Andrew Card. But again, confirmation from the White House, the traveling White House here in Paris, where tonight the president dined with French President Chirac, that former President Reagan has died and that President Bush has been informed. This has been something that was expected by the White House. Earlier today, sources familiar with the situation informed the White House that the end was near for former President Reagan, that his health had taken a turn for the worse. The White House was put on notice that it could come at any time, and don't be surprised if the announcement was made soon. And indeed, I think it was sooner than most people expected. Brian, one official said it could be any time, weeks or months, who knows, and indeed it happened in a matter of hours even from that conversation. All of this happening while the president is in France preparing to mark the D-Day anniversary, the 60th anniversary on Normandy yesterday. Now, of course, there may be some change of plans, but no official word on that. Brian.
Thank you, David Gregory in Paris. This sets in motion, of course, the elaborate funeral plans that all former presidents must have and agree to, of course, while they are alive. The President of the United States, George W. Bush, will, of course, preside over that upon his return to the United States. NBC's Andrea Mitchell has now been able to join us by phone, I understand. And, Andrea, your thoughts at this hour?
Well, some of the thoughts are just personal, because I spent 8 years covering Ronald Reagan, and any of us who covered him feel very connected to him. It was an extraordinary time historically, and he, no matter what you thought politically, was just such a nice man that he was very much liked by everyone around him, his Secret Service agents, anyone with whom he had contact. And it is the end of an era, and he had a transforming, power over our politics, over economics. It was, of course, the end of the Cold War, and I guess the most profound moment in his presidency, not just tear down this wall, Mr. Gorbachev, at the Berlin Wall, but in fact in 1984 at Pointe du Hoc at Normandy, when he delivered that most meaningful speech about where are the boys of Pointe du Hoc, the speech that was written by Peggy Noonan, but delivered by Ronald Reagan, and it was really the coming together of the Allies, the first great coming together of the Allies, which now is again going to be commemorated tonight and tomorrow. And
Andrea, that begins the flood of memories that will be coming back from this great American life as an actor, a broadcaster, a corporate pitchman, a governor so often underestimated, say nothing, of course, of 2 terms as president. We will have updates throughout the evening, of course, and we should tell you about a special edition of Dateline NBC at 10 o'clock Eastern Time for an hour this evening. For now, I'm Brian Williams, NBC News, New York.
Home is where your best friends live. Home is where you learn to give.
Somewhere, there's a man accessing sensitive information by way of a fingerprint, while a woman in a national retail chain keeps track of millions of dollars in inventory, safeguarding it from the warehouse to your house. Somewhere, as huge ships come and go, a security team closely monitors their cargo, helping to keep our ports safer. Somewhere, a stranded motorist summons help with the touch of a button. And a dad checks on his business from his son's baseball game. What do all these people have in common? They rely on the same security company you do, ADT, helping protect Americans for the last 100 years. And the next 100. ADT, always there.
What? That was offside! Face back! First down! Way to go, baby! Oh. Go for two. Blitz. Time out! Come out! Time out! He's all over him. Interference. Right in his hand! Oh.
So glad I'm not playing anymore.
Touchdown! Yes!
Every armchair quarterback needs a great armchair. Aaron's has the guaranteed lowest prices on top name brand armchairs and recliners, and everybody's pre-approved.
Game over? Game over?
Who won?
The fan favorite has done it again.
Smarty Jones, he's pulling away. He's going to win by a colossal margin. He wins the Preakness by a dozen lengths. He remains undefeated, and it's on to Belmont.
Smarty Jones looks to become the first horse in over a quarter century to win the Visa Triple Crown. The Belmont Stakes, next.
Your whole life can change in an instant. Are you ready for this? Now you can be. See your State Farm agent and plan your financial future with the company you trust. We live where you live.
In the future, everyone's glasses will automatically adjust to changing light and block out harmful UV rays that can damage the eyes. But for those with transitions lenses, the future is already here. Ask your eye care professional, because the danger is real now, and so is the protection. Transitions, right in any light.
Hello? Oh, hi. Mr. Wendy here, going door to door to remind people about Wendy's late night pickup window.
Don't you have anything better to do?
Actually, no. Look, how many times have you been forced to eat lousy food late at night?
Happens all the time.
Why? If you go to Wendy's, they'll make you a really good classic double with cheese, fresh, instead of something that's been sitting around for who knows how long.
You're with Wendy's?
Well, unofficially. So is anyone else home?
Yeah. Say hi to Bruno.
Whoa, Bruno!
Wendy's pickup window is open till midnight or later.
This Sunday, a summer bonus, an all-new Crossing Jordan. For years, Jordan searched for her mother's killer.
After all this, I'm not stopping now.
Now her brother returns, and the biggest mystery in Jordan's life is about to be solved.
They killed our mother.
Crossing Jordan's, all new, NBC Sunday.
Gentlemen, thank you. Brian Williams at our NBC News headquarters here in New York with an update on the word that we received just in the past hour from California. Word that former President Ronald Reagan has died at the age of 93. The president went into a steep decline in his health in just the last few days. Family members gathered as word came that the end looked near. Except for his diminishment in his quality of life in the last decade, Ronald Reagan truly lived the great American life, spanning from lifeguard to broadcaster to actor to California governor, and of course, two-term president of the United States. He will be remembered as this nation pauses over the next several days for so many things, for the Reagan Revolution, ushering in conservative policies that have lasted to this very day, for his famous quote, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall," the end of the communist bloc and the Cold War, against which he dedicated so much of his public life, and his comeback after an assassination, more serious at the time than virtually any American knew. So much more is now known about Ronald Reagan, the man and the president, a mind more broad than anyone gave him credit for, this man who was always underrated, always came back from adversity, is tonight being remembered as a successful two-term president of the United States. We wanted to tell you NBC News will come on the air tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern Time, with a special one-hour-long edition of Dateline NBC devoted to the life and times of former President Ronald Reagan, who again has lost his fight with Alzheimer's disease in California at the age of 93. More updates throughout the evening. For now, I'm Brian Williams, NBC News, New York, and we return you to NBC Sports coverage of the AFL quarterfinals.
Here in San Jose, the SaberCats have knocked off the Tampa Bay Storm 56.
Too much plastic surgery? NBC Nightly News, Monday.
Home is where your best friends live. Home is where you learn to give. Home is where your story never ends. Life is filled with ups and downs. It's filled with outs and ins. Home is where the story begins. Telling the story.
It will let out the seat for you. Take in the sides. Even adjust for the proper length. The Lexus ES with an advanced memory system. For those who appreciate a custom fit. At Lexus of Wayzata and Lexus of Maple Road.
I'm Rick Cavcella. Thanks for choosing KARE 11 News.
The 136th running of the Belmont Stakes is brought to you by Visa, proud sponsor of the Visa Triple Crown, by Allstate, are you in good hands? And by Buick, proud sponsor of today's broadcast of the Visa Triple Crown.
The beauty, the elegance, the tradition, the power, the moment, the race, the anticipation, the thrill, and the brains.
And Smarty Jones takes the lead.
Looks like keeping up with the Joneses just got a little harder. Good luck, Smarty Jones, on your bid to win the Visa Triple Crown this weekend. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
A Buick with 290 horses and plenty of room for one more. Rainier, one of the refined utilities of Buick. We're not just a car company anymore.
You're driving along. A car pulls in front of you. Another pulls alongside. When the guy up front stops short, you rear-end him, just like he wanted. It's called a swoop and squat. And fraud like this can add hundreds of dollars a year to your insurance bills. It's why Allstate has a dedicated fraud team to track down criminals. Fighting fraud helps keep your insurance affordable. That's Allstate, Stan. Are you in good hands?
Assurance in rain means Goodyear's deeply carved aqua chutes propel water away from your tread. Assurance on ice means Goodyear's interlocking treads deliver gripping power. Assurance on dry pavement means Goodyear's reinforced shoulders give you confident maneuvering. The revolutionary new Goodyear Assurance with triple tread technology for assurance in any weather on the wings of Goodyear.
A Buick with third-row seating. A more refined ride right out of the gate. Rendezvous Ultra, one of the refined utilities of Buick. We're not just a car company anymore.
There is a game that fills the senses and thrills like no other. A game that touches the heart and tests the brain. A game for old-timers and first-timers. For families and big fans. A game you don't just take in, it takes you in.
The
the Olympics. An event so big it deserves to be seen in incredible high definition. Experience the dives, flips, and sprints on an amazing widescreen picture. And one of the best ways to get NBC Special HD Olympic coverage is from cable. To find out how to get NBC in HD, call or go to onlycablecan.com for details.
A questionable ride can beat you in the Belmont, like Kent DeSarmo's on Real Quiet.
This is a KARE 11 News Special Weather Report.
Good afternoon, I'm Jonathan Newatts. We want to give you the latest as we go to Skyscan 11, what's happening with the weather northeast of the Twin Cities. There's a tornado warning for Chisago County until 5:30 p.m. We do have a severe thunderstorm producing possibly a tornado in the northern part of Chisago County, very near the community of Rush City. And right now the storm is moving to the southeast at 20 miles per hour, so that means if you're watching us from Polk County, Wisconsin, that you should be alert that this strong storm is moving your way. It's crossing Interstate 35 right now, and again, it is moving to the southeast and could affect the area of Harris within just a few minutes at 4:57. So again, in the northern part of Chisago County, this is about 60 miles north of the Twin Cities. There is a tornado warning out for a cell that is moving across northern Chisago County, eventually heading into parts of northern Wisconsin, northwestern Wisconsin, over by Polk County and over by Pierce County, Wisconsin, or St. Croix County, northern St. Croix, southern Polk. But right now, the severe thunderstorm producing a possible tornado is in northern Chisago County, near Interstate 35, between Harris and Rush City. If you're in Chisago County, you need to seek shelter immediately. We'll keep watching the storm and have more for you throughout the afternoon hours if something else develops.
Here's a link to Secretariat. Penny Chenery, who owned...
Breaker 19, this here's a rubber duck. You got a copy on me, big fan, come on? And yeah, we definitely got the front door, good buddy. Mercy sakes alive, looks like we've got us a convoy.
The Buick Rendezvous Ultra. Rainier. And coming soon, Terrazzo. 3 new ways to refine the road.
Breaker, big fan, this here's
Buick. We're not just a car company anymore.
It can think for itself, strike fear in the hearts of hackers, and laugh in the face of disaster. It can transform itself, grow into whatever the future demands, work virtually anywhere, and propel entire companies, industries, and economies forward. Can your network do this? It can if it's designed by the world's networking company, AT&T.
Last summer, one of our biggest reality shows was a joke.
Grew up in an Italian family. My mother taught me how to shave.
Last Comic Standing is back. It's bigger, it's wilder, and funnier.
Camping. Like, I'm gonna work all year to pretend I'm homeless.
It all starts Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on NBC.
The Minnesota State Lottery has had many winners over the years. If this is the only thing you think of when you hear the word lottery, then you only know half the story. To date, the lottery has given over $1 billion back to the state of Minnesota. The Highland Bush Anderson Lakes Regional Park has benefited directly from lottery proceeds with the construction of a trail shelter. It's how proceeds from your Minnesota State Lottery are working to keep our state healthy for generations to come. The Minnesota State Lottery. When you play, the environment wins.
Last summer, one of our biggest reality shows was a joke.
I get all my hair products at Petco.
Last Comic Standing is back.
Are you talking to me?
And the search is on for America's funniest person.
You know why I pulled you over? I'm like, I don't know, because I was speeding. He goes, no, because you're black.
You'll see the best.
Mexican music singers sound like they're shrinking, don't they?
And the rest. Last Comic Standing, NBC Tuesday, 8, 7 Central.
Do you believe in love at first sight, or should I walk by again? Are you from Memphis? Because you're the only 10 I see. So, can I buy you a drink? Or would you rather have the cash?
Okay. You got to the count of 3 to take your bid.
That works.
Don't make it the usual. Make it Mike's Hard Lemonade. Hardly the usual.
Rick Kupchella, Amy Huckert, KARE 11 News Weekends. This is a KARE 11 News Special Weather Report.
I'm Jonathan Newatts with an update on the weather that we're having across the region right now. Here in the Twin Cities, we're all fine, but up to our north in Chisago County, there is a tornado warning, and that is for a cell that is moving into northern Chisago County right now, and it is approaching the city of North Branch. There was a possible funnel cloud reported between Harris and Rush City here about 15 minutes ago, but now some of the strongest parts of that storm are just approaching the city of North Branch. So again, if you're in Chisago County, you do need to be seeking shelter because there is a potential developing tornado in the north central part of Chisago County right now. And what we can see on radar looking at this, right around Harris, we're seeing what looks like some inflow here, and that's where you'd have probably the most significant rotation. And then down around North Branch, you're probably going to see some very high wind gusts as the leading edge of that thunderstorm moves in. So the rotating winds are actually just to the east of Harris, moving through north central Chisago County and eventually pushing into Wisconsin here within the next few minutes. But down around North Branch, a very long line of storms is coming in, and this is probably going to produce wind gusts that could exceed 60 miles per hour and potentially produce a tornado there as well. But again, this tornado warning is in effect until 5:30 p.m. Now, across the rest of the region, there are some strong storms extending back toward St. Cloud and just to the north of Cambridge, but the most intense storm is over north central Chisago County. Also, a few isolated stronger storms near Redwood Falls, but around the immediate Twin Cities area, we're fine at this point in time. And it looks like about 6, 7 o'clock before we really see any development across the immediate metropolitan areas. So once again, a tornado warning until 5:30 p.m. for Chisago County. Spotters have reported a possible funnel cloud over northern Chisago County, very near Rush City. It's already cleared that area. Looks like the most intense part of the storm is around Harris, and also some very intense weather with high wind gusts likely approaching North Branch right now. If this continues to track at this speed at about 20 miles per hour to the southeast, it is going to put it into the area of Taylor's Falls, probably around maybe 5:20 p.m. So if you're in Taylor's Falls, this storm is heading your way, and it'll probably be there at about 5:20 p.m. We'll have more updates as needed, but right now the strongest weather is to the northeast of the Twin Cities by about 50 to 60 miles. We'll keep you updated, and we'll go back to the Belmont Stakes now.
Please stay tuned to KARE 11 for more weather updates.
Kids are my life.
So, how much software do you want to buy?
Mr. Mooney's not here.
So, how much software do you want to buy?
Are you tired of pushy software salesmen?
So!
Buy software on your terms with Flex Select Licensing from Computer Associates.
Introducing Visa Extras for small business. It's kind of like finding free stuff at work. Enroll now, and when you use your Visa business card, qualifying purchases earn points for everything from office supplies to travel. Even select NFL tickets. Sign up at visa.com/Visa Extras.
Sorry about that. You all right? Yeah.
An accident isn't your best moment. But at State Farm, we'd like to think it's ours. In fact, according to J.D. Power & Associates, customers rated us higher than any other insurance company for collision repair satisfaction.
Yeah, everything's fine. I talked to State Farm. No.
We know this isn't your best moment, but it's a moment you'll be glad you have a State Farm agent. So call us today.
Mom, I'm overwhelmed. We're gonna have to postpone this wedding.
How about something to eat?
There's the church music, the florist, the arrangements.
Okay.
And then what about the bridesmaids' dresses? Now, do I have to include Cousin Ruth?
Katie, we've got 11 months. We can do this.
And getting David's family to cut their mullets?
Put it on the list.
It's that extra goodness in Sara Lee homestyle bread, along with our bagels. They're just another reason why.
Of all the innovations of the past 100 years, arguably the greatest are the forward pass and the ability to catch the forward pass. The Canon Digital Rebel, a 6.3 megapixel SLR with the revolutionary Digic chip and CMOS technology. The game has changed. The Digital Rebel, the culmination of 68 years of Canon know-how.
NBC this Monday, For Love or Money is back with a huge twist. They could be playing for $1 million or a single buck. And here's the thing, they'll never know how much, but he will.
If he is playing me, I'm going to kill him.
All new For Love or Money premieres NBC this Monday.
Good luck, John.
The 136th running of the Belmont Stakes is brought to you by Visa, proud sponsor of the Visa Triple Crown.
Welcome to the Belmont Stakes, the final jewel in the Visa Triple Crown. With a win today, Smarty Jones could be the first undefeated horse since Seattle Slew to sweep the 3 races that make up the Visa Triple Crown. And if he does, he'll receive a $5 million bonus from Visa and a place in sports history. All of us at Visa wish Smarty Jones the best of luck. I hope you enjoy the race.
This Sunday, a summer bonus, an all-new Crossing Jordan. For years, Jordan searched for her mother's killer.
After all this, I'm not stopping now.
Now her brother returns, and the biggest mystery in Jordan's life is about to be solved.
They killed our mother.
Crossing Jordan's, all new, NBC Sunday.
I never set out with the idea to photograph dogs. I didn't even want a dog. My ideas, they come from them, really. My photos, my videos. You know the saying, who's walking whom? Well, they inspire everything.
The Diga DVD recorder from Panasonic. Record and save whatever inspires you. Your favorite TV shows, home videos, even photos, right onto DVD.
They break up my preconceived ideas. They give me new ones.
Panasonic. Ideas for life.
I'm George W. Bush, and I approve this message.
President Bush signed the Patriot Act, giving law enforcement vital tools to fight terrorism. John Kerry, he voted for the Patriot Act, but pressured by fellow liberals, he's changed his position. While wiretaps, subpoena powers, and surveillances are routinely used against drug dealers and organized crime, Kerry would now repeal the Patriot Act's use of these tools against terrorists. John Kerry, playing politics with national security.
The average driver spends a mere 1% of the time in reverse. Yet considering what's at stake, that's 1% we didn't want to ignore. The backup camera, available in the Lexus RX 330. At Lexus of Rosetta and Lexus of Maplewood.
I'm Eric Perkins. Thanks for watching KARE 11.
This is a KARE 11 News Special Weather Report.
I'm Jonathan Newhouse with your latest on the severe weather northeast of the Twin Cities and Chisago County. We still have a tornado warning in effect until for a thunderstorm that is right now moving over central Chisago County. It has passed through the city of North Branch. It is now approaching Chisago City and Lindstrom, and this storm could produce wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour as it continues to drift to the southeast. It'll also be approaching Taylor's Falls as well. We have not heard any additional information if there have been any more tornadoes, but there certainly could be a tornado forming quickly in this line of thunderstorms that is moving through central Chisago County. These are some of the arrival times with the most intense part of the storm, 5:38 at Schaefer and 5:47 at Taylor's Falls. Probably the biggest problem with the storm is going to be high winds that may gust up higher than 60 miles per hour. In addition to that, some hail and also some very heavy rainfall occurring with these storms as well. So again, if you live in Taylor's Falls, about 5:47 p.m. now is the new arrival time on this storm. And there has been a funnel cloud reported by storm spotters as it was passing near Rush City and Harris, but we haven't received any additional information. Twin Cities is all clear. We'll have a full newscast coming up at 6 p.m. and let you know about the latest on the weather. Now we'll return to the Belmont Stakes.
Please stay tuned to KARE 11 for more weather updates.
Doesn't enter into races just to film, so if he's here, he has to think.